I was born in the Republic of Moldova. It's actually a little country in Eastern Europe between Romania and Ukraine. It's actually known to be one of the poorest countries in Europe, and that's much of the reason why I emigrated here. If I imagine my life in Moldova, it's nothing like the way that it is here. I lived on a farm, we had goats, we had chickens, I would just run around in the fields. So in my art, I really try to stay true to my roots and focus on nature and the way that we relate to our environment. One of my friends told me about this website that she shared her art on, and I started exploring that and realized that there is such a huge world of art out there that I wasn't aware about. And especially in photography, I always thought of photography as just taking pictures of your family and recording your memories, and I never thought that you could create a piece of art out of that. So that's when I had my eyes really opened to the possibilities of using it as an avenue to create artwork. I found a little camera in my house that my mom bought. I took it outside and I started experimenting with it, and my mom noticed that I had this interest, and for Christmas that year she bought me a more advanced camera. I found out about the 365-day project, which is basically just taking a photograph every single day for a whole year. And it was really challenging, and I had to push myself to go outside every single day, take a photograph, whether I was inspired or not inspired. At the end of the project, I compared where I came from and where I got, and I was amazed at the progress. And after that, I just had to keep going. So I did a 52 weeks project, which is just a photograph taken every week. And ever since then, I just couldn't stop. When I shifted into the 52 weeks project, I started asking my friends if they would participate in creating work with me. And that's when I was really able to create whole scenes and make them much more elaborate and focus on making little series or focusing on more complex ideas. Maybe 70 wasn't actually enough. You might think I have this complicated process of coming up with an idea for every photograph, but in reality it's just random images that come to my head and I just freak out and I have to do it. The best time is probably when I'm about to fall asleep. I just have a flash of an image and I know that the next day I'm going to be obsessed with it and I would just want to create something that even remotely resembles it. I always try to look out for interesting places that catch my eye. At this point, I've built a large mental map of the little spots that I prefer to shoot in, and most of the time I shoot in the same locations, they're just shifted in perspective so they look completely different. So lower the elbow that's underneath a little. When viewers come and see my work, I really want to make sure that they connect with how they feel and what their thoughts about the image are. I want them to feel like they're transported into a new world, an alternate world, a world full of possibilities and fantasy and beauty. Nowadays, the world has become so focused on technology with Instagram feeds and Facebook posts. We just get caught up in that fleeting moment of looking at an image and scrolling up. With creating photography, I really want it to be unique. I really want it to be something that you pause and you look at and you really think about what your thoughts are about it. I want it to be a unique experience and I want it to be real. Some people cope with life really by meditating or doing yoga. To me, photography, it's just that meditative aspect that brings calm to my heart and to my mind and really makes me slow down and make something physical. It's almost like crafting an object. You can't really think about anything else. All you have is the image that you're focused on.